Hello, everybody. I am sitting in a really beautiful place and just chilling out for a little bit. I'm heading to a different location later this evening to see a good Facebook friend of mine I met her on Facebook. She turned into a really good soul family sister, and I'm going to go spend a couple of days with her. Then I'm getting to connect with someone that I have followed and has followed me on Facebook for several years now that I'm very excited to meet, and I will tell you guys all about that later. But I wanted to get on and do a reading. I did a reading yesterday on my Reels, and if you didn't see it, you can go to my main profile and you can find it in my Reels section. I think it's under my photos as well. I'm not sure, but you can also go to my group. I have a tarot group that I started called Everyday Tarot and Spiritual Advancement, and I'm posting all of it there, including these lives. But the thing about the lives is they delete it within 30 days. So I do lose the readings that I do here, but I like the Facebook Live because I can do it as long as I want to. With the Reels, I have a time limit, and so it ended up being 7 parts. They're all short, but it's still 7 parts. And I had to keep restarting the reel to get to the next part, so it kind of interrupts the flow as well. So I'm going to do this one as a live, and you guys watch the reels and then watch this live and let me know which one you prefer. I can keep doing the reels because we won't lose those, but I want to just make sure that everybody gets to see them and has access to them that needs them. So another thing is if you guys will like and share the post, it actually helps the algorithm and helps it reach more people. And I really don't need the affirmation. I just want to make sure that the message gets to the people that need it. And Spirit has a way of doing that, but you guys can help do your part by liking the video and sharing it if you can. And you can share it in tarot groups for me as well if you'd like. Sorry, I had to have a drink of chai there. So this first card that came out to start with, I thought it was your ex coming out again in the beginning, but I think this card is more about you. Your ex does make an appearance in this reading. Um, and it doesn't have to be like an ex in a sexual relationship. It could be a platonic relationship, but it's somebody that's been very influential in your life in some good ways and in a lot of bad ways. So we're going to start the reading with this card that is for you, and it is the Ten of Wands. It also came out yesterday, but it was for your ex yesterday. Sorry, that's a little dark. It's kind of dark in here. It's a cloudy day today, and I don't want to have any lights going, so I'm just kind of sitting with my window open here. Let's see if I can get a little more light in there. But the Ten of Wands, it says burden, responsibility, stress, blockages, lost faith, frustration, and excessive pressure. And I feel like for quite a while now, that's where you have felt in your life. You have felt all of the stress and responsibilities and burdens on your shoulders. You've carried a lot for other people. You've taken care of a lot of other people, and you always put yourself last. And some of the tests that you have went through, it's actually been so that you will start focusing on yourself, so that you will start loving yourself and caring for yourself the way that you've loved and cared for other people. And until you start doing this, you're just going to keep feeling depleted. So if you haven't already, you need to really work on your cutoff game. If people are not bringing good things to you, if they're not loving and supporting you and giving you the energy back that you give to them, then they don't need to be a part of your reality. And if they are a part of your reality and you have no choice because say they're family members or they're close contacts, you need to limit your exposure with them because I don't care who they are. They do not deserve to drain your energy and use you as a resource and not give you anything in return. Or if they sit in judgment of you, if they're all the time making you feel like you're not good enough, if nothing you do is ever enough to please them, they're not your people. And I don't care if they are family members. And I'm telling you this from experience because I have family members in my life that like to judge me and they like to make comments about my life and tell me how I should do things. Or they like to just sit around and talk about me. Can you believe what Shell's done now? And they absolutely bring nothing to the table in my life. They do not support me financially, emotionally, any of the ways that I need support. So they have no voice in my life. And I do hear things about secondhand. Well, they said this or they said that, but I don't let it affect me. I just let it roll off because ultimately the only opinion that matters is my opinion of myself, and I'm living my life my way, the way I want to. Finally, for the first time in my life, I have taken control of my life, and I have cut out all the toxic people, and I am only responsible for myself and my little dog. And I am very selective about the energy that I allow into my inner sanctum now. If I don't feel a good energy, I don't participate. I walk away, and I wear my headphones a lot, especially when I'm out in public. And if I feel any kind of negative energy at all, I literally will sometimes act like I don't hear the person if they're trying to get my attention, because I'm not going to expose myself to someone who is not emotionally on my level and emotionally healed. And I'm not saying I won't help people, because I help people all the time. But if I get a negative feeling from them, or a negative vibe or negative energy, then I don't participate. Um, but I have, like, I've stopped and talked to homeless people and helped, different situations of people that I know I could feel their energy, that they just needed help, or they just needed a kind word, or needed someone to share something with them. And so I will do that, but I'm very selective now on who I let into my inner world. And I just actually spent some time with a friend this morning who is going through something similar, and we really connected on a deeper level. And I was one of the first people she was able to express that with, that she feels drained around people, but she feels energetic when she's by herself. And it's because she hasn't learned how to not let people suck her dry and use her as a resource. So I was able to give her some insight, and that was amazing. Wow, that was just the first card, y'all. But the next card is the Chariot. I wish that was brighter. I'm sorry, y'all. It's dark. See, I'm trying to give y'all a little more light here without turning on any lights. Um, and the Chariot, it could be you're actually getting a vehicle that's going to take you to a new destination. That just happened to me. I just got my vehicle. I've been without a vehicle for a while now, because my last vehicle broke down and I didn't have the money for repairs. And I knew that I wanted to upgrade to a van because I'm going to be traveling. And so I just didn't put the money back into the vehicle. I'd gotten a really good deal on it, and I really got my money's worth out of it for all the time that I drove it. And then I ended up selling it for a decent amount. So, through a wreck settlement, I was able to get another vehicle, and I got a van, and I got it completely set up so that I can travel now, because that's what my heart is calling me to do. And you have probably had something similar be laid on your heart, that you're going to be going to a completely different destination, or something that doesn't make sense to anybody else, but it keeps getting on you harder and harder and harder, that you need to go, you need to go, you need to go, you need to prepare, you need to prepare, you need to prepare. Well, if you will take that leap of faith, a way is going to be made for you, just like it was just made for me. It made no sense that I would end up getting a van, but I knew I was going to get a van. The wreck settlement, I had no idea if I would actually get a settlement or not, because it was such a weird case. I was actually driving a vehicle for a farm, and a kid pulled out that was door dashing and dead stopped in front of me, and I rear-ended him. But it was his fault. But you know how things are with commercial vehicles. And so we went round and round and round, and it took almost 2 years to finally get a settlement for it. And it wasn't a huge settlement. It was just enough, but it was just enough to get me back on the road. And I know now the way that the doors are opening up, which way I'm supposed to go. In the beginning, I was a little unsure, and I had a tentative schedule, but I knew deep down in my heart that it was going to change. I knew that something was going to happen, that I wouldn't be going the way that I thought I was originally going to go. And I've been felt led to this place that I'm going to be going for quite a while now. The first place I'm going, I actually came here 2 years ago, and I ended up there first and met a lady on Facebook that had been following me for a few years. And we connected, and I ended up staying at her place for a couple of weeks until I got on my feet and got my own place. But now I'm going back to see her before I leave out, and then I'm going to go connect with someone that I have just watched go through so many things and overcome so many things. And she is on the same, I wouldn't say the same, she's on a similar spiritual level as me. And she is such a beautiful soul and has been through so much. And I'm finally going to get to meet her after all these years. And I'm just really excited about that. But the place itself, I have been felt called to go there, but it was more inland than where I am now. And I'm really loving the coast and loving the forest and everything where I'm at. but I knew I was supposed to go to that area. So I don't even think that me going there is all about her. I think that there is something else going to happen there. And there's a big event that happens there in June, and I think I'm going to be there for that. And I feel like I'm going to meet someone there. But this card, the Chariot, it is either a literal new ride for you, or it is that you're supposed to get in your current ride and go wherever your heart is leading you to go, even if it makes no sense, even if it's going to turn everything upside down, you're supposed to do it. And in your heart, when you finally go with this, when you finally start making steps in that direction, you're going to feel so much peace. You're going to feel much calmer. You're going to sleep better. Everything is going to start falling into place. But if you keep holding on to what you're holding on to right now, everything that is in your reality right now is just temporary. And if you keep holding on to that, if you keep keeping such a tight grip on that, you're going to end up going through such a severe tower moment that you don't have to go through if you'll just turn it loose and let go. Just let go and let God, you know? But there's going to be people that come that will help you with that. The next card is the Magician. And you may be wondering, how in the heck is this going to happen? How am I going to make this happen when I don't have the resources right now? When, I've got this going on or that going, you'll have all these excuses and all these reasons why you don't think you should do what you're being called to do. But you are a major manifester. And if you put your mind to something, it is going to happen. And if you'll look back on your life, things that you really focused on, it may have taken a little bit of time, but they ended up coming into your reality. And that is because you are a magician. You are a major manifester. And if you will put those abilities to the right use, if you'll stop doubting yourself, if you'll stop doubting Spirit's plan for you, you're going to connect with this, and you're going to, not only are you going to grow and learn so much about yourself, but you're going to guide and teach other people and show other people that what can be overcome and what you can accomplish if you just put your mind to it. And that's part of your calling. And now your ex is coming in, and just so you know, because you're getting your life together, whoever this person is in your life, like I said, there is no gender in the tarot, and there is no direct assignment unless it just comes straight through that, hey, this is, if it's for you and it's a personal reading. But this is a collective reading. It's a general reading for the public, so it could be different scenarios and different people for different people, if that makes sense. But a strong majority of the ones that I'm connecting with here, it is an ex-lover. It is someone that was a major part of your life. It was someone that you really truly gave your heart to, and you thought that they were one person, but they weren't. They were the devil. They were in that devil energy. They may have put on a mask. They may have acted like they were like you. They may have come across as rainbows and sunshine in the public, and then behind closed doors, the mask slipped and you saw who they really were. And then there was lying and manipulation and maybe even cheating, third parties. And the third party stuff, it doesn't even have to be cheating. It could be people that they allowed to come in between your connection, or that they put above you, or things that they put above you. But that person, they could have been very powerful. They actually were supposed to be someone really powerful in your life. Everybody has choices, y'all. We've got free will. That's what people don't understand. They don't understand why some things happen, but there's always two paths, and you can go one way or you can go the other. And when you make that decision on which path that you take, you change the outcome of things. And everybody has that free will. So just because that person was meant to be in your life doesn't mean that they're going to stay in your life, because they have that choice as well. But this person, you were brought into their life because they literally prayed for you. They manifested you into their life. They wanted someone loyal. They wanted someone kind. They wanted someone that was nurturing and that would give to them. But they were so skeptical and so hurt over their past relationships and so trauma filled that they didn't recognize who you truly were. And so they kind of looked at you side-eyed. They kind of treated you like you were an option. They treated you like these other people because they didn't know who you were. And so they kind of wrecked things with you. kept pushing you away, and they kept playing games with you, mind games, and just all kinds of stuff. There's stuff that happened that you don't even know about, that you don't want to know about. I kind of touched on that yesterday, but they are very, very frustrated right now because their world is really just collapsing. While yours is elevating, while you're getting ready to gear up to do this new adventure, while all these things are starting to fall into place for you, their world is collapsing. And it's because, one, they don't have your energy anymore. They literally, they don't realize, well, let me put this, they didn't realize at the time. They realize now what your energy meant to them and how it fueled them. And when you took your energy away, when you finally took your power back, their world just started falling apart. And so the next card is the Lovers in reverse. And the card says frustration, separation, failure to meet the test, avoidance of choice, or overcommitment. They overcommitted to everything except for you. They were very money driven and very resource driven. They were very materialistic, and they also felt like if they didn't have all these things, if they didn't provide all these things, that they were a failure. And these are deep seated issues with this person. It literally came from childhood. Uh, they've been programmed to believe that they should be strong and resilient and solid and the provider, and they should have all these things. And if they don't have all these things, that they're just a failure. And they judge other people by what they have as well. And so they judged you when you first met them. You may not have had a lot. You may have been in a transition yourself. You may have been going through building your life back up or whatever. And so they met you at a moment when you weren't at your best. And even though they saw good things in you, and even though they felt that feeling for you, they kind of put a wedge between you two because they didn't want to get very close to you. They wanted to keep their options open in case something better came along. So you always felt like you were on uneven ground. You never knew where you stood with them, and it made you feel insecure. It made you doubt yourself, even though you know who you are. You know how strong you are. You know all the things you've overcome. You know what you bring to the table and what you have to offer. But this person made you doubt literally everything about yourself because they were full of doubt. But the thing is they never really truly doubted you. They saw who you were. They saw you overcome so much. They saw all the things that you started to bring into their world and all the things that you had to offer them. And it scared the hell out of them because they knew they weren't on your level. And so because of their insecurity, they pushed you away even further. And so you finally walked away from it. You're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And you walked away. And they have literally looked everywhere to try to replace you. They've went out with other people. They've done all these things. Some of these things are not good things, y'all. They've got out and partied and done some crazy things you don't want to know about. Trust me, you just don't want to know. But they can't replace you. They can't find your energy anywhere else, and no one makes them feel the way you made them feel. They feel other people drain them. Other people make them feel weak, where you built them up and you made them feel strong. You made them feel like an emperor, even though they weren't an emperor. You made them want to be an emperor, but in the back of their mind, even though they wanted that, even though they wanted to build with you, they just had that self-doubt that they would end up screwing it up anyway, so they might as well just wreck it now. And so they sabotaged the relationship, and they sabotaged everything that you had together. Every time you would get some kind of leg up for you guys, if you would get an opportunity or whatever, they would end up sabotaging it and messing it up. And they played games. They did so many things to mess with your head because they were insecure. That's the ultimate thing you need to understand. It was never about anything that you did wrong or anything that you didn't have to offer. It was them and their own insecurities, and they projected all of that onto you. This next card is them as well. It is the Four of Pentacles, and it's also in reverse. And it says greed, materialism, lack of originality, possessiveness, and obstacles. So even though they wanted to keep their options open and they were looking at other things and always keeping an eye out for something better, they also were very possessive of you and obsessed with you because they knew that you were a very strong person, and they knew that you had options, and they knew that if you ever looked at yourself and really looked at yourself and saw who you were, that you wouldn't give them a second glance. And so they wanted very hard to bring you down to their level, and that's why they played all these games with you and tried to make you doubt yourself, was because they wanted to keep you trapped. They were so afraid that if they didn't do it that way, that they were going to lose you anyway. And what they didn't realize is that is the main reason they lost you, is because they played these games, and because they didn't show you the warmth and the love that you showed them. They didn't give you the emotional commitment that you gave them. And that's all you wanted. You didn't want their money. You didn't want their resources. You didn't want any of that. You just wanted their time and their energy and their effort and their love. And you wanted to build that with them. You wanted to help them build an empire. But all they could see was all these external things, and all they knew was the relationships they'd had in their past. They'd never met someone like you, so they didn't know how to treat you. And now that they're away from you, oh my gosh, now that all their world is collapsing and falling apart, all they've had to do is sit around and reflect on you and think on you, and it's just tear them apart, because they know that they lost the best thing that ever happened to them, and they know that ultimately there's no way that they're going to get you back, even though they really want to try right now. They want to come at you again. But that's the thing. They're still in reverse. King of Cups. They could be. They could be the King of Cups. Look at that. But no, they're still in reverse. And it says, subtle, crafty, wisdom, fierce, nature with calm exterior, considerate, balanced, and generous in the upright. I'm sorry, it says subtle, crafty, wisdom, fierce nature with calm exterior, considerate, balanced, and generous. That's in the upright. That's who they could be if they would just look inward and focus on themselves and do this inner work. But because they're in reverse, it says lack of emotional intelligence, lack of control, merciless, shifty in dealings, and coldness. So they're still playing games. And if they come at you again, they're still going to do this because they don't know any other way. They're going to try to present themselves to you that they've done all this inner work, that they've done all this inner healing, and that they're on your level now, and they're ready to build with you, and they're so sorry, and they should have done it right to begin with. They're going to love bomb you. They're going to maybe even come at you with gifts, and they're going to try to shower you with attention and do all these things to get you back. But the thing is, if you give them another chance, they're going to repeat the same exact cycle again, because it's all they know. They're going to get bored. They're going to start doubting, and they're going to start sabotaging. They're going to start playing games with you again, and they're going to hurt you and break your heart. So you know this. Spirit is telling you this, but you already knew it. This is just an affirmation. If you do this with this person, you're just going to repeat a cycle again, and you're going to have to go through another lesson. But if you will say no to this person, and I know how hard it is, you don't want to hurt this person, because ultimately you know they're not a bad person. They're just damaged. They're wounded. They're traumatized, and they're not doing their inner work. And you see all this in them, and you really, really just want them to go do their inner work, go heal themselves. And it's not that you even want to be with them again, because they killed that part of you. But you don't want bad things for them either. You just don't want them in your world, but you also don't want them to go out and hurt somebody else. So you would give anything if they would just go work on themselves. But unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of time with this person. And you don't have that kind of time, because you've got really good things coming. You've actually got the World, which is a really good card. Everything you have worked for is coming together. Accomplishment, success, completion, synthesis, perfection, recognition, and mastery. And it may not feel that way right now. You'll be like, what in the world? My life feels like it's in shambles. I just lost this, and this is all upside down, and yada, yada, yada. All of that's happening for a reason. Like I told you, if you'll just willingly let it go, if you'll just willingly start getting rid of everything and decluttering and getting ready to go on this journey, whatever it is, you're not going to go through the hard stuff. I mean, you've been through this stuff before. You've literally lost things before. May have lost everything several times, like I have. And you learn over time that stuff is just stuff. Material stuff is just stuff. It can be replaced. But what is real is your heart. What is real is your soul and your experiences and living life. And I'm going to tell you, getting trapped in something and working away your life for material things is not the way to go, because one day you're going to get old and you're going to look back on your life, and you're not going to say, oh, well, I wish I would have bought that, or, oh, I wish I would have owned that. What you're going to say is, oh man, I wish I would have done that. Oh man, why didn't I go do this? Or you're going to look back at your life and say, oh wow, I'm so glad I did that. And I did this and I did that, and I met this person, and I'm just so grateful, and blah, 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 and have all these good memories. So really evaluate your life and what you're being called to do, And you know, ultimately in your heart, you're not supposed to be trapped like you're trapped right now. So all this stuff is clearing out of your life for a reason. And even if it feels like chaos, it's all coming together in your favor. You just have to trust and you have to have faith in spirit and in yourself. You're going to have someone coming to help you. This card in the upright is a pretty devastating card. You can see how devastated that person is and the swords, coming at them. But it is actually in reverse, which makes it actually a good card. It's patience, unselfishness, timidity, control, decisions made, and finding help. You're going to start having people come into your world. They're going to help you along this path. Once you take that leap of faith and once you start, doors are going to start opening for you and you're going to start connecting with people with like minds and like hearts and like spirit. And that is what this journey is all about for you. Where you're at now, you're surrounded by negative energies. You're surrounded by energy vampires and you're surrounded by people that have no clue who you really are and what you are. So you've got to break away from all that. It's time. It's past time. And if you don't, Spirit's going to do it for you. So get ahead of the game. Just go ahead and start it. It's time. And that is coming through so strong. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Because you're going to be sitting in your power when you do this. When you take your power back, when you quit giving to these situations and people that are draining you, you're going to be sitting in your power. The Queen of Pentacles is protective, generous, charming, intelligent, kind, truthful, and practical. That's you. You're the queen. You're actually the empress. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. This is an energy. And the empress is the mother of all. The empress is the carer, the caregiver, the nurturer, she balances it all. Like she's above the queens. She's above all of the other people, but she literally earned that. She is someone that everybody respects, everyone admires, everyone knows what she did to get to the position she's at. And she doesn't hoard that over people or hold it over people's heads, but she has a natural leadership to her and people look for her to take the lead. So that's going to be you. That is you. You just got to step into that power and leave that ex in the past. You can manifest that person not coming back into your life because right now their energy's pulling on you hard. That's why you keep having them pop up into your mind randomly. You're like, I'm over this person. I don't think about this person. Why is this happening? Why am I dreaming about this person suddenly? Why is this person always in my thoughts? It's because they're thinking about you and they really want to connect with you and they're hoping that you'll reach out to them. They're really trying hard to manifest that. But if you just ask Spirit, protect me from this and I don't want to deal with it anymore, then you don't have to have this final conversation with this person. But if you are okay with being strong and you know that there's no way that they can manipulate you back into their world, then maybe you need to give them that last goodbye. Maybe you need to tell them exactly why you can't be with them so that it forces their eyes completely open and they know exactly what they've done. There's no more guessing. And it really will make them go inward and do the inner work. They're going to have a dark night of the soul. They're already having it. But it's going to force them to go even deeper if you have this conversation with them. But like I said, that's totally up to you. You have the power to manifest it or to reject it. It's up to you where you're at. Sorry if my drinking chai gets on y'all's nerves, but I forgot I made it and I don't want it to get cold. So that's it with the Rider-Waite cards. I'm going to do a couple of my Island Time Wellness cards, and I haven't pulled them yet. We're just going to shuffle and do it on the thing. This is you, the Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. You have come so far and done so much. And it is time for you to go to this next level. It is time for you to stop doubting yourself. And it's time for you to kick these negative, toxic people out of your life. And once you reject this this previous energy that was in your life, no matter what it was, once you reject that out of your life and you let Spirit know that you're serious about moving forward, you're going to meet this magical person. You're going to meet your true twin flame. You may have thought this past person was your twin flame, and they were actually a false twin flame. They were a soulmate, They had a chance, but that chance is over and it's gone. So you're going to meet your true twin flame. It says yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. And in your heart of hearts, that's what you really want. You want your kingdom spouse. You can do things alone. You're very strong. You're very independent, but you love being in a real relationship. The next one that comes up is love. Unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. It's coming for you. You just got to reject that last, you got to reject that runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy and listening to ego. That's that past person. Man, that's them to a T. And they wanted you to chase them, but you're not doing that anymore. Because the Cupid's arrow's coming for you. Have faith. Love is coming. Surprise. Surprise invitation or meeting. Surprise invitation or meeting hesitation. You're going to hesitate a little bit when you meet this person because you're going to be taken aback. They're not going to be like anything you've ever known before. This person is literally your other half, so they're going to be so much like you. It's literally going to scare you. They're going to be affectionate. They're going to be warm. They're going to want to be in your reality and in your energy, but not to drain you. They're going to want to promote you. They're going to want to help you. They're going to want to give you the world, and you're not used to that, so it's going to freak you out. But you've got to take a deep breath and let this person show you who they really are. And when they show you that they are supportive, when they show you that they're kind, when they show you that they're loving, you gotta accept it, you know. And I know how hard that is for you because of the things you've been through with other people. But this person, they're literally your mirror. They're literally genuinely mirroring you too, not acting like they're not acting like you. This person is like you. And they're just gonna open you up so much, and they're going to have resources that you don't have, and they're going to want to share those with you. And it's like I said, it's really going to freak you out. And the next one's coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. It's time for you to have these good things in your life. It's time for you to have good people in your life, and you need to start building those relationships, even if you have to travel to do it. Meet these people that have been kind to you and loving to you on, even on social media and stuff. Go meet them. Go connect with those people and see what happens and open yourself up again. I know you've been in hermit mode. I know you've been protecting yourself, but it's time for you to go to that next level. It's time for you to experience this new reality that's coming for you. We're in a new reality, y'all. This is part of the new earth. It's letting go of all the old 3D stuff and all the toxic relationships, working through all your issues and building yourself up and elevating up to the new earth. And the new earth is love and compassion and healing and all these things. So let go of that old stuff. Close out that old cycle and just let it go. It's time. And like I said, if you have to move, it's time to move. Get in your chariot and go. All right, let's do some animal spirit cards, and then we're going to close this out before it gets too long. I have a tendency to go too long, but that's okay. People need to hear what they need to hear. This is what we've been talking about all along. The first one that comes out is the Jaguar. Maturity is the ability to embrace change, and change cannot happen without death. This death does not necessarily mean physical death, but could be the ending of a relationship, a situationship, or simply your decision to not continue with the same old habits. That's what we've been talking about. But just so you guys know, and I don't like predicting stuff, but there is going to be a loss in your life of someone that you've been close to. And this person, just so you know, they're ready to leave this plane. They're so tired and so exhausted, and they're just ready to go. And it's still going to hurt you. It's going to be very sad for you. But ultimately, over time, you're going to understand that this person is actually in a better place. They're just not cut out for what's coming in this reality, and they're not able to handle things. So they're going to check out, and they're not going to take themselves out. It's going to be probably a physical ailment or something that takes them, but it is someone that's close to you. It is someone that you care about, but it's someone that you tried to reach for a very long time, and it just hasn't gotten through to them. So make your peace with that. You've done everything that you could do, and you've loved this person, and know that it's not your fault when this happens. It's just the cycle of life, and some people don't want to be here. Some people are just tired of this reality. So, uh, anyway, we're going to get off of that. Yeah, sorry, it's a dark energy because I feel it in my life too, and I'm gonna go through something similar. It's a collective thing. We're all losing things and things are changing, but just know that those people that leave this reality, they're in a better place. They're going somewhere better energetically. They're still with you. Their energy never dies, but they're just not capable of staying in the 3D world much longer. Move these out of the way. And the next one is the raccoon. This message has to do with those things to which you cling, be it a thought form, habit, creed, or situation. The time has come for letting go. Something is halting your progress and you are spinning your wheels. Once you embrace change, blessings will follow. You know, when I got my van, I could have took that same money in my settlement and I could have bought a little car and put money in the bank and been comfortable where I was at. No one was making me leave where I was at, but the energy at the place where I was at, the person that I was renting from, she had a lot of stress on her and she was trying to maintain a house, a huge house, and was responsible for way too much. And she was also a teacher, so she was like under constant stress with her job and she was just not happy. And even though it was never against me and never personal, I always felt her energy when she came in the door. And so that affected me over time. And like, I never felt happiness off her. I always felt her anger and her frustration and her unhappiness. And so I happened to be around that energy on a regular basis started to wear me down. And it was a beautiful place that I was at. I had a beautiful backyard that I could sit in anytime I wanted to. Beautiful house. I loved my room. Loved the animals that were there, all that stuff. But the energy just wasn't right for me. And I knew I had to do something. And so I made the decision and did it myself. And I know that if I hadn't done that, that something would have happened to push me out of that situation. So now I'm embracing this change. I've went full force, all out, got my van, got everything geared up, and literally made this my little house. And as soon as I made that decision, different doors started opening and I started getting guided to this new path. So whatever this is that is holding you up, whatever you're holding on to that you think you can't live without, I got news for you. You're going to live without it one way or the other. You're either going to turn it loose or it's going to be taken from you. And it's better if you let it go willingly than for it to be taken, you know? And then we've got the hummingbird. It's time for you to pursue your dreams with determination by doing this. You will make them a reality. Joy is just around the corner, but you have to believe that it is possible to manifest your vision. Stop waiting and doubting. I think that message speaks for itself, and I think that's a good way to close it out. I don't think there's really much more to say. You've got to let go of this burden that you're carrying. And if you're carrying it for other people, they're not going to carry it for you. You've got to really evaluate everybody in your life and everything that you're clinging to. If you don't, things are just going to keep getting worse. And next, it's going to be your health if it isn't already. Get ahead of it. Anyway, that's the message for today. If you can, like and share, and I will see you guys again. Peace.